Shutdown threatens to drag on for days as positions harden. Some are eyeing October 15th, when active-duty military members could miss a paycheck, as the next deadline for action. Buckle in, this shutdown might last a while. With federal agencies closed going into a second work week, there are vanishingly few signs that a bipartisan breakthrough is imminent. To the contrary, all indications are that leaders in both parties are only digging in deeper, and efforts to forge a compromise among the Senate rank-and-file are so far sputtering. Already some lawmakers are eyeing October 15th, the date when active-duty military members could miss their next paycheck, as the next real deadline for action. Those talking points have barely shifted from a week ago, when Congress was still on the precipice of plunging into a shutdown. Now, more than 5 days in, some leaders have their eyes on some key dates they believe could force action. Most federal workers will miss their first paychecks Friday if agencies don't reopen by then. Active-duty military members will miss their pay the following Wednesday if Congress does not act. Speaking to House Republicans on a private conference call Saturday, House Majority Leader Steve Scalise identified that latter date as a key pressure point and urged members to hammer Democrats as it approached. President Donald Trump also alluded to the sensitivity of troop pay in a speech Sunday to a crowd of sailors and others celebrating the Navy's 250th anniversary. I want you to know that despite the current Democrat-induced shutdown, we will get our service members every last penny. Don't worry about it. Trump and his deputies are seeking to add to the pressure by threatening to proceed with mass layoffs of federal employees as the shutdown wears on. Top economic advisor Kevin Hassett described potential firings Sunday as a sort of sword of Damocles that will hang over Democrats in the coming days. We think that the Democrats, there's a chance that they'll be reasonable once they get back into town on Monday, he said on CNN. And if they are, I think there's no reason for those layoffs. But the layoff threats have only caused Democrats to dig in more. Many inside their ranks are calling the specter of firings a bluff, arguing Trump has no more legal authority to carry out such firings in a shutdown than he would otherwise, and that any such moves would be quickly challenged in court. And even swing state Democrats are growing comfortable fighting for the position Jeffries and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer have staked out for them, extending the insurance subsidies ahead of November 1st, when open enrollment begins for next year's plans. Offered on Affordable Care Act exchanges, 24 million Americans are going to have their premiums increase. Millions of them are going to lose their coverage, Senator Ruben Gallego, Democrat Arizona, said in an interview. Any answer to the shutdown has to involve fixing that. Gallego has been part of a bipartisan group of rank-and-file senators who have been holding informal conversations about finding a way out of the shutdown. But so far the discussions have remained nebulous. While leadership talking points have hardened, there are tensions inside both parties that could grow over the coming days and weeks and bring matters to a head. House GOP leaders decided Friday not to return to session this week, driven by both a belief that they have nothing further to do after approving the 7-week stopgap last month, and concern that having members of the more boisterous chamber together on Capitol Hill would not help the party stick to its message. Senator Mike Rounds, Republican South Dakota, flatly said the House would only make things worse. "This is not a game," Johnson told reporters at the Capitol last weekend. "I don't know why this is so complicated." In contrast, some in the Speaker's leadership circle quietly bristled at Senate Majority Leader John Thune's decision to recess his own chamber for the weekend after another stopgap vote failed Friday, according to 3 people granted anonymity to describe private conversations. They privately argued Senate Republicans were giving up an opportunity to keep hammering Democrats. The House's absence continued to fuel Democratic attacks over the weekend. House Republicans continue to be on vacation, spread out across the country and the world, and this makes no sense, Jeffries told reporters Friday. He brought his own members back to town last week, but has not made similar plans for this week. House Democrats are set to hold a conference call Monday evening.